I've been out like 3 weeks now, and I got a doctor's appointment with my primary care physician November the 11th. I don't know why they made it so late. And when I was in the hospital, I contacted my doctor twice with no response. Left a message, no response, no answers, or anything like that. But once I go to my doctor's appointment to see my primary care physician, I got all the hospital records, not the records, but the paperwork showing that I was in the hospital and when, and that I had to get a blood transfusion, and I'm gonna have him to check me for whatever disease there is that come with that getting somebody else's blood. Because I remember some years back when my children was little that I heard about Arthur Ashe dying from AIDS because he had AIDS contaminated blood doing open heart surgery, and I feel so badly for him. And that's why these blood banks had to change their policies. Anyone with HIV or AIDS, full blown AIDS, cannot give blood. And I thank God for that they changed this policy because it was making people sick, getting people on their deathbed because of AIDS, full blown AIDS contaminated blood. But and I asked the doctor, did they check that blood for any type of disease? And they said yes. So, and I've been praying to God while I was in the hospital with this blood transfusion. This is the first time I ever had my blood transfusion. Also found out my blood type, which I don't want to say right now what it is, but one day I'll say it. And I am so forever grateful that I'm still here because my hemoglobin level was down to a 3.1, either 3.4, and that should have put me in my grave then. But I thank God I didn't, and I wasn't gonna tell my mama I was in the hospital. But my grandmama's sister-in-law, told me to go ahead and tell it. My daughter also told me to go ahead and tell my mama that I was in the hospital. So I went on ahead and told her, and her and my aunt came out there. But if I was to ever go back in the hospital before the year is out, which I may have to do because my chest been hurting, and plus my asthma been acting up because of this rain, and my knees, shoulders, hands, side of my legs, my thighs really, and my hips are hurting because of this arthritis. This arthritis is no fun. It's no joke. If you don't have arthritis, I don't care if it's osteoarthritis, which affects the knees, the hands, the shoulders, and the hips and stuff. And I also know that rheumatoid arthritis is the one that cripples you. Your hands end up like this, like my granddaddy's own was. He had to grip his fork like this to cook and stir stuff up, and it put him in a wheelchair. And temporal arthritis is in the right here in the temple. And when the blood ain't flowing to the vein and to the head, like it should, that vein opens up and have you in so much pain, to have you closing your eyes and can't think the right way, because that's what happens to me, and I have to tell my doctor again about those type of pains I'm having in my head. And sometimes it could be from the allergies that I'm getting because during rain season, like now, and during the summer, those are the two seasons where my asthma start acting up, my allergies act up, where my eyes be burning, my throat go to itching, and I have to clear my throat a lot. And I have to blow my nose a lot. And I sneeze and I can't be around animals. The pollen in the air gets to me. And this is what causes me to go in that kind of reaction. I used to stay at the doctor's office, and I used to stay on asthma machines. Plus, when you stressed out, when you're in a bad relationship, that would also trigger your asthma to act up and trigger you to go the have them headaches, which is not normal for a person to have and go through, and that's what triggered me to be in the emergency room a lot when I was younger, in my 20s, from the age of 20 to like 27. That's what I went through with this medical problem, being in the emergency room, headaches and asthma acting up, flaring up during the summer. The heat will trigger you for some reason. The heat, something about the sun that triggers a person's asthma. With the pollen in the air, the pet dander, the germs and other people around you, especially when you're in the shelter, that would mess you up a lot. Because I used to have two asthma pumps in both shelters I was in when I stayed homeless for 2 years. But I had to do what I had to do to get up out of there. I had to go get myself checked, just like I had to go into the hospital earlier this month, which was 3 weeks ago, in order to get me a physical therapist and a nurse to come to my house twice a week to help me out. The nurse checks my blood pressure, checks my oxygen level, check to see if I have any type of fever. Because when I was in the hospital, they kept checking me for coronavirus every day. From the day I got there until the day I left, they was checking me for coronavirus. Thank God I didn't have it at the time. And these are the things that I go through. That's why I've been looking for another place to stay and looking for me some help. What in the world was that noise? But anyway, being that like that with that name I just said, that was very low. Thank God I didn't lose my life over it. But I'm now getting ready to do things that's gonna help me instead of being there to help everybody else. And them same people is not here to help me, except my two children. Yes, they the ones who helped me out a lot, and I'm helping my daughter out the same way. Cause both of my children was born with the sickle cell trait. They both got asthma. They both had eye surgery when they was little. So that's what I have to do as a parent. I don't have to do it now, but I'm doing it because that's what a mother does. My son works. My daughter used to work. She's applied for a disability check, and I pray to God she gets it so that she can pay her bills, maintain herself, and get her golden passport so she can get on the bus. But this is about being sick and going into the hospital because of what I've been through with my body recently. And it took me to go into the hospital just to get a home health aide. Not a home health aide, but a physical therapist and a nurse to come here. At least my physical therapist come here 2 times a week, and the nurse come here at least once a week. And I thank God for that, because it took me about 4 years just to get to this point. For calling every agency, company, organization, back and forth to different primary care physicians, different nurses, doctors, emergency rooms, with no avail and with nothing being done until I had went into that hospital.